Valmir asks, how in the Western world, and with all the 4.0 industry debates, can we convince the managers to use Karakuri concepts instead of automation? I know that it's lower cost, but it seems that these simple automations sometimes is confused for poor solution or ugly solution, that the boss won't like it because the factory and the 5S results audits will be bad. I love this kind of solutions, but I have to confess that it's hard to convince people. Now, what are Karakuri? Karakuri are mechanical devices where you use the person's energy or the mechanism energy and gravity to move things rather than carry them. So everything rolls on rollers and things move from one place to the other. It's great for logistics, it's fantastic. And they're all very simple devices. There is no hydraulic, it's just mechanical. So they're absolutely wonderful. But as always, what is the problem you're trying to solve? My friend Cyril Danet has set up a company that builds Karakuri for European industrials, and he's making great inroads in the major automakers. The emphasis is on Kaizen. This is equipment that the operators themselves can learn to make. Toyota also has Karakuri as their key part of their green production strategy. So it's a great solution, there's no debate. The question you're asking is about convincing. How do we convince anyone on anything? What do we need to change in ourselves to be more convincing? Like any innovation, once the proof of concept is clear, which is the case with the Karakuri, how do we accelerate adoption? What are the countermeasures to resistance to change? I think this is the problem we are facing, and this is the problem we faced 30 years ago with convincing people to adopt lean, and we have hardly found a definitive answer. So what are the countermeasures to resistance to adoption? The first, I believe, is that we have to be more interesting ourselves. The higher our profile, the more people will listen. This is the authority argument. So what can you do to raise your profile? The second is social proof. How many testimonials can you get from people who are really convinced, and how will you display these testimonials to show that across the world Karakuri are used, that they are the in thing to do, the fashionable thing to use? Thirdly, what is the easy way to use Karakuri? How do you set up a Karakuri model line in a plant so that people can convince themselves of their use and feasibility and demonstrate concretely what the gains are? Finally, how can people benefit personally from promoting Karakuri? Japan, for instance, has a Karakuri exhibition and contest, and my friend Cyril was the first French person to show up and participate and get a prize. He was so happy with that. Lean thinking about such an issue is what you should invest in improving yourself. Where is the Kaizen? How do you discover what you need to learn to reach your goal of convincing more people of the benefits of Karakuri? And as anything lean, this Kaizen is both challenging because it means getting out of your comfort zone, and great fun because it means getting out of your comfort zone. So the question is not about the Karakuri, but how do you learn to be more convincing in general and then apply the skill to the Karakuri problem?